Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy day after my birthday. So if you missed it, still celebrating. But my thought for you, I've been thinking about, birthdays and birthdays of important people. And my brain kind of goes to the story of the Buddha. So when the Buddha is born, again, it's considered a very auspicious birth. So everybody's excited about it because they know that this person who's being born is very important. And part of that is because he's born a prince, right? So we think of him as, of course, a spiritual teacher, and he was, but he was born as a prince. And when he was born, the astrologers or whoever the wise men who were looking at him said, well, based on the timing, right, of his birth, is he has the capacity to either be a great king, great statesman, very powerful, or a great spiritual leader. Right? Those were the two paths that were laid out for him at his birth. And so his father, the king, of course, wanted him to be a king, right? He wanted to be able to hand the kingdom to him. So he did everything in his power to keep him away from the experience of the world, because he was afraid that if he saw too much of what humanity was going through, of what the world was going through, that he would be drawn into spiritual life. So can you imagine that? A parent that's like, no, don't be a spiritual being, like stay away from that. Just stay on this path. And of course it backfires, because the more he tried to keep it away, of course, the Buddha eventually experienced everything and said, wait a second, what am I doing keeping myself closed into this one narrow place, this one narrow path, when there's so much more there is for me to do, right? So he chooses for himself the path of the spiritual teacher. But what this makes me think of is that every single birth, every single being, it's an auspicious birth, right? So when you were born, when I was born, there might not have been someone standing there saying, this is what you're destined to be. Your soul knows that, what you're destined to be. But that we're walking this path in front of us to awaken to, become aware of, right? The capacity that you have to bring something into the world, right? Or the capacity that you have to be everything that you are, right? So that auspiciousness, that if we stay very narrow in our perspective of what we think the meaning of our life is, what we think the meaning of what we're doing is that we do the same thing that the Buddha's father did, is we cut ourselves off from, right, the bigness that we could be. So we say, well, I'm just at this, I'm just at that. Like, I'm not going to do anything big and exciting with my life. Whatever you're doing is big and exciting, right? So this becomes sort of the practice is, can you hold your own birth as something auspicious? And can you hold your own life as it's unfolding itself as something that is auspicious, meaning that it is paving the way for something important to happen. It's paving the way for something beautiful to come into the world, right? And that you're doing it day by day by day. It's not like the Buddha, had just his awakening and nothing else happened, as he had years and years of experience before that moment occurred, right? And then years and years after that moment of more work to do. But can you hold yourself with that same level of respect and that same level of auspiciousness that you would give to any other being that's been born, right? The ones that you hold so high above yourself. Can you hold yourself in that same respect? Yeah. So comfortable seat, let your eyes close for a moment. And bring your attention to the space of the third eye. So that's right between the eyebrows, but then it's set back. So it's not the surface level of the forehead, but it's actually set back to the center of the head. So you're bringing your awareness there. And then imagine that just above that, maybe an inch above that, there's a second little point of light. And as you're breathing, I want you to breathe your breath from one point to the other. So from the point of the third eye, breathe up to that second point, and then exhale it, bring it back down to the space of the third eye. So you're inhaling the breath up to that second point just above the third eye, and then bring it back down. That point above, the Guru chakra, said to be almost like it's part of the third eye, but it's the part that says that this is the inner Guru. That everything that you ever could be, ever might be, ever desire to be on the soul level, is that understanding is already there, imprinted. The only question of your life is, how are you going to allow it to unfold? And are you going to keep it in a very narrow line, or are you going to let it unfold in all directions? But breathe your breath from the third eye up to that point, the guru, the inner guru. And then bring it back down to the third eye so that you're recognizing that you are touching that wisdom with every breath. And bringing it into reality with every breath. And the guru is not an occupation. A guru is a state of understanding. Just like the Buddha is not an occupation, it's a state of awareness. Everything that you were born to be, but don't know that you were born to be. Touch that. And hold it with deep respect. The day you were born was an auspicious day. Good. And with your next breath, you can release the attention from the third eye, or keep it there if you want. The whole practice, keep it there. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands and then come forward to hands and knees. Good. Start with a little bit of cat and cow. So inhaling, lengthening the spine, stretching through the front of the belly, and then exhaling, curling and rounding, lifting up through the back of the ribs. Good. And again, feeling the breath as it moves through the body. So it's not just happening in one place, but you're breathing the entire length of your spine. So the inhale is the breath leading out through the top of the head, but also out through the tail. And then exhaling, same thing. Bring it into all of the spaces between the ribs, the back of the shoulders, back of the neck. Good. Nice. And then bring yourself back to neutral, please. Good. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Nice job. Yeah, and then step your right foot forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Inhale both arms to the sky, high lunge. Good. Reaching through the whole front of the body again. Interlace the fingers, press the heels of the hands up to the sky. So deep breath in, long spine, and then exhale, keep the shoulders on top of the hips, but round your back and push the hands forward towards the front of your shoulders. So push out straight ahead through the arms. Good. Round into your back body. Good. And then inhale, stretch the arms up, lengthen again. Good. And then exhale, round again, pressing through the back of the ribs, pushing out through the arms, back thigh stays super steady and lifted. Good. Inhale the arms back up to the sky. Good. One more time. Exhale, round, pull back through your ribs, lift your hip points up, deepen that front thigh. Good. And then arms back up to the sky. Inhale. Nice. And then take the arms out wide, cactus arms, twisting to your right, please. So turning the belly towards the right. Take your left forearm onto your front thigh. Take your right arm over the ear. So a little twisting side angle. Pull your rib cage back away. Pull your belly back away from your thigh and lift that right armpit higher. Nice, Joanne. Good. And then inhale the arms back up to the sky. Inhale. Yeah. And then release the hands down to the floor. Nice, you guys. Drop the back knee, please. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Widen your hands. Stay up on your fingertips. Good. And then start to cat-cow your spine. Little bend to your elbows is fantastic. Good. Nice. It's so interesting to work with the movement of your spine, right? Because we think of it as being something that is fairly narrowly defined, right? Your spine is a line, but it's not a straight line. It's a curved line, right? It's a line that is incredibly integrated so that what's happening in one part of the spine is automatically shifting what occurs in another part of the spine. Good. So that sort of interconnectedness is what we want to find. Again, that deep respect for the place that you hold in the world is it's not just your individual daily stuff that you do that matters. It's how that is affecting the huge picture of humanity. So a deep respect for whatever you do. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Good. Walk the hands back in just a little bit. Left hand plants right arm to the sky, spinal twist. Good. You can keep the knee on the floor if you'd like, because again, it allows you to stay a little bit deeper forward with the pelvis for a moment. Pull your belly back. Good. Nice. And then release that hand down to the floor, please. Lift the back knee up. Yep. And then take your right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the right hip on top of the left. Beautiful. Then do a little circling of that knee, circling of the hip. So draw little circles with your knee. Good. And then lift and open. Nice. And then stretch the leg back to straight with the hips still stacked. Good. And then scoop your belly, turn your toes back down towards the floor. Beautiful. Bring that knee forward towards your nose, armpits over your wrists. Good. Shoot that leg out to your left, please. So you come onto the baby toe edge of that right foot. Let your left heel drop flat to the floor and then take your left arm up to the sky. Good. Press through both legs as you lift your hips. Good. And breathe into that left armpit. Nice, 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 Laura. Beautiful, Lisa. And then bring it all the way back, please. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And then exhale, knees to the floor, child's pose. Good. Oh, that was a lot on one side, wasn't it? Nice, you guys. Feel the breath in the lower back, but keep an awareness of that space just above the third eye. Again, so that it permeates, that wisdom that is yours, it permeates, because what is yours is uniquely yours. So we say that there's one truth, but it has to be experienced in as many ways as it is. So there's no way of saying, well, if I don't do it, someone else will do it. Not the way that you will. So a deep respect for whatever is the process of your wisdom unfolding. And the way it unfolds is mistakes. The way it unfolds is failure. The way it unfolds is slamming into walls inside of us and outside of us. So can you have a deep respect for your whole life? That's what it means to be auspicious. Walk yourself back up, hands and knees. Downward facing dog. And again, we wait often, right? Birthdays. We wait for someone else to say happy birthday. We wait for someone else to say, I value you. We wait for someone else to say, I think that your birth was auspicious. Well, give that gift to yourself, damn it. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Interlace your fingers, press heels of the hands up. Beautiful. And then as you exhale, take the arms forward, pressing out as you round the back, round into your back rib cage, but keep your shoulders on top of your hips. So don't lean forward. That's cheating. So Emily, bring your shoulders back up and then round your back more. Good. Inhale back up to straight, everybody. And then try it again. Exhale, curl and round. So keep your shoulders up, but push the arms forward and pull your rib cage back. Good. And then inhale back up to straight. One more time, exhale, round. Good. I'm just doing this so that chair pose later doesn't feel like it's impossible. Good. And then inhale the arms back up. You'll be like, oh, chair, that's way better than that lunge thing. Take the arms out wide, cactus arms. Twisting to your left, please. Turn the belly towards the front thigh. Right forearm comes to rest on the front thigh. Left arm comes over the ear. Twisting side angle. Lift your back thigh a little higher. Yep. Good. And press back through your back heel a little bit more. So a stronger, steadier back leg. Good. Pull your ribs back and in. Nice. And then come all the way back up. Inhale, arms to the sky. Good. Release the hands down to the floor. Both hands inside the front foot. Drop your back knee. Walk your hands to the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Come up on your fingertips, widen your hands so you've got space. Bend your elbows just a little bit and then cat-cow your spine. Good. Again, staying low with the pelvis so that there's the opportunity for there to be some fluidity that comes back to the lower spine. Good. So Emily, try and let the whole spine move, even all the way down to your pelvis. Let the pelvis move. Kristen, same thing. Move the pelvis in your cat-cow. Good. I know it's not easy to do in this position, but I'm not interested in excuses, only results. This is your one most magnificent, auspicious life. Even though yoga says we will reincarnate, it doesn't matter. This life is the auspicious one that's happening right now. So treat it with deep respect. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Walk the hands back in just a little bit. You can keep that back knee on the floor or lift it, your choice. Right hand plants left arm to the sky, spinal twist. Good. So you're still letting the pelvis move slightly forward, especially if that back knee is on the floor. Keep the legs more in Anjaneyasana. Awesome. Nice, Sue. And then release that hand back down to the floor, please. Nice job. Lift the back knee. Take your left leg up and back, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee. Take your heel in towards your butt. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Open. Nice. And then make little circles with that knee. Again, moving the hip. Good. And wisdom is knowing how to walk your life with authenticity, knowing who you are. No matter what you happen to be doing, lift and open. Stretch that leg back to straight with the hips still stacked. So the toes are still turned to the side. Nice. And then curl into your belly. Turn your left toes down towards the floor. Good. And then bring the left knee towards your nose, armpits over your wrist, squeeze in. And then send that leg out to the right, please, onto the baby toe. So split the legs big. If that right foot is too close to the left foot, it's not going to work. So you got to pull that left foot further forward. Right heel comes flat, right arm to the sky. You got it. You got to push into your feet and then open through the shoulders, open through the chest. Throat back. Throat back, Joanne. That's it. Nice, Harriet. Good. And then bring it all the way back, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. And then knees to the floor, child's pose. Again, resting the forehead. You can make a little pillow with your hands with the elbows wide if you'd like. It's nice if the forehead has something to rest on, so that you keep paying attention to that spot, right? Between the eyebrows and just above. So it's like a little 2-point unit. But that unfiltered wisdom, the unfiltered knowledge of everything that you were born to be, not what you were born to do. It's not what your destiny is, what you were born to be. That's what touches the world. The stuff that you do has an impact, of course, but that's just an extension of who you think you are. So if who you think you are becomes so expanded, it's no longer that narrow one path is the only path there is through my life. You become so expanded, then everything that you do will carry that. You can be whatever you want to be in terms of action. The wisdom of who you are, it's beyond description. I'm talking about me and I'm talking about you. It's beyond description. Can you honor that in you? Even if you're sure that there's no way in heck that that's true. Pretend for me. Come back up to hands and knees. Pretend until you believe it. Downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes up and back, down dog split. Nice. Bring that right knee forward and wide for pigeon. Knee towards your right wrist. Good. Sliding the left leg back, but turning that left hip forward. Good. So there's that dual action of the left hip point pulls slightly forward, but your left thigh draws back, anchors back. Good. And then walk yourself forward, please. Up on your fingertips. Don't get too comfortable. Arms extended. I know. Cat cow your spine. Don't ask why. Just do it. If you're too close to the floor and you can't get full access to your spine, come up higher so that you can. Good. Don't let it be just about tilting your head forward and back. Move your chest. Move your pelvis. Good. How many poses can I have you do cat cow in? All of them. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Let yourself drop into pigeon however you'd like on your forearms. Again, making a pillow with the hands for your forehead if you'd like. You can use a block. You can use nothing at all. You were born as a guru. It's imprinted in you already. The guru is just that state of being that says, I really understand the unity of things. I really understand interconnection. I really understand how love flows from that understanding. And I'm really willing to just be the one that stands and lets love flow. I mean that again, not romantic love, but the kind of love that is unfiltered, undifferentiated. So how often in your life have you really had the sincere thought that I love being alive? Not that I'm afraid of being dead, but do I really love my life just as it is? I really love myself just as I am. Deep respect. And if we cultivate nothing else in our practice, if we cultivate that feeling, that's huge. It's huge for you and it's huge for the rest of the world that you're going to touch, that you continue to touch every day. So the guru that lives in you, can you touch it? Integrate it, be it. Accept that there's a wisdom in you that does not happen in anyone else the same way. Walk yourself back up onto your hands. Good. Lift that back knee, please. And then step your right foot right between your hands, lunge. Beautiful. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels back of your mat, cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. Awesome. Yeah, once you're done fixing all of your flows. Good, you guys. Right forearm onto front thigh, left arm comes over the ear, side angle. Good, drawing the low rib cage back, rotating that left armpit higher. Beautiful. And then take the left hand to your left hip, please. Take your gaze down towards the floor. Slide that right hand beyond the toes of the front foot. Step up to Ardha Chandrasana. Good, giving yourself enough room. Again, if your right hand is way too close to your front foot, it's very difficult to find balance. So move the hand farther forward. Good, and then left arm can come back to the sky if you'd like, or keep it at the hip. Beautiful, and then bend your left knee, everybody, even if you're not intending to reach for the foot. Bend your knee and either reach for the foot or the ankle, or keep the hand at your hip or your low back and just open the chest a little wider. Keep stacking that left hip a little higher. So Lauren, lift, lift, lift. That's it. Nice, you guys. And then extend all the way back out. Beautiful. Step all the way back to warrior two. So bend that right knee, step your left leg back, cartwheel the arms back up. Beautiful. Left hand comes down the back thigh, right palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Yeah. Good, and then back to center, please. Inhale, exhale, hands cartwheel them down to the floor. Lift that back knee. Good. Take your right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good, deep breath in. And then bring that knee forward again towards your nose, and then shoot it out to the left. And then keep extending it. So push out until the outer edge of your right hip finds the floor. So keep pushing that leg out to the left. Let the right hip come down, find the floor. Left toes are still tucked under behind you. Heel up. And then turn your ribs towards the top of your mat and walk forward onto your forearms. Good. Yep. Yep. So you're in that same split position that you were in before, but now your hips are on the floor. Turn your chest forward. Good. Keep your back toes tucked under so that you get that rotation on your left thigh. And find your breath. Good. Birthdays, as though we can predict on the day that a life begins where it's going to end up. We can't. Right? Prophecy, you have the capacity to be a great spiritual leader. All right. What does that mean? You know, and of course we look at that story and it's ancient times. So, you know, the Buddha is born a prince and he runs off to be an ascetic. You know, he goes completely from one side of the spectrum to the other, but we're somewhere in between. So we spend a lot of winding time doing a lot of things, trying to figure out who we are. And if the Buddha taught us anything, it's that the only way to discover that is to go beyond all the doing and to actually just feel what is in you that wants to be shared. Right? What's the wisdom that you discover about the world that no one else can? And where is it in you that you are willing to be a place where a loving feeling is cultivated and grows? That's your destiny. Whatever else you do in the meantime, great. But don't forget to do that. Good, you guys. Walk yourself back up onto your hands, please. Press into that back foot. Pull that right knee back to downward facing dog. So you got to pull it in towards your chest. Extend it back. Awesome. Then both feet to the floor, down dog. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Lower down slow to the belly. Rising up into cobra, lifting head, neck, and chest. Good. And then finding downward facing dog. Good, you guys. Left leg comes up and back, down dog split. Good. Bring that knee forward and wide pigeon. Second side. Again, the right hip point, top of the right hip spins forward. So don't let it fall all the way to the back. Spin it forward first. Inner thigh roll up a little bit more. And then you can feel that you extend back through that leg so your pelvis drops towards the floor. And then walk yourself forward any amount on fingertips. Cat-cow your spine. It's been so long since I asked you to cat-cow. We make a big deal about the spine in an asana practice because it is what supports your life, your physical life. But it's also energetically that's the pathway that integrates all of your energy centers, right? So for everything to be as fully integrated and awake and accessible as it is meant to be, the spine has to be open. There has to be some flexibility, fluidity there. So we don't want that to become narrow. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Drop yourself into pigeon however you'd like. Forehead to a block or making a pillow with your hands. Staying up on your forearms is great too. Kristen, I like how wide your knee is, but can you bring the heel a little bit more in front of you? There you go. Yeah. Looked very odd. Nice, you guys. Guru chakra just above the third eye. or anything that an outside teacher could tell you, the understanding of that is already imprinted in you, so that when you hear it or you feel it outside from someone else, all it's doing is triggering in you what you already know. That's why they say when we have those experiences, it feels like coming home, because that's what is real, right? That's what's the backdrop behind everything else. Good. Take one more breath. And then walk yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then step that left foot right between the hands, lunge. Good. If it takes 6 steps, that's okay. Just find it there. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels the back of your mat, warrior 2, whatever perfectly graceful way you got there. Good. Nice. Left forearm comes onto front thigh, right arm comes over the ear. Beautiful. Reaching, whole side body. Good. Switch your legs, Lauren. There you go. Good. And then right hand comes to your right hip. Take your gaze down towards the floor. Slide that left hand beyond the toes of your foot, floor or block. Ardha Chandrasana. Stack the right hip on top of the left, flexing the foot, lifting through the inner thigh. Good. Then again, right arm can stay on the hip, or right hand can stay on the hip, or you can extend the arm up to the sky. And then everybody bend the knee, kick your heel back towards your butt. Either reach back for the foot or the ankle, or keep your hand at your hip or at your lower back. Good. Carolina, don't let your whole pelvis twist. So pull your left thigh crease back and in, left butt cheek back and in. Good. Nice, you guys. Heart to the sky. Nice, Anju. I like that balancing. And then extend all the way back out. Beautiful, Alice. Good. Step yourself back, warrior 2, please. So as you bend that left knee, drop the right foot, cartwheel the arms up. Good. And then right hand drops down the back thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Nice. Beautiful. Bring yourself back up to center and then cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Good. Spin your back heel up. Take your left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. And then bring that knee forward towards your nose again. Shoot it out to the right. So big split of the legs, and then keep pressing out through that heel until your outer left hip finds the floor. Good. Right toe stay tucked under. Turn your ribs forward. Come on down to your forearms. Good. Nice. You're still turning the top of that right hip forward, forward, forward. Flex both feet if you can, or keep your left foot flexed if you can. Good. Nice. It's always curious to me if we ask ourselves what you think you're doing in yoga poses. Like, what do you think you're doing in this pose? What are you stretching? I don't know. I feel some stuff. I'm trusting that whoever put me here has an idea of how this is going to benefit me. That's a guru relationship, right? I have trust that I have no idea what I'm doing, but I trust that whoever put me here is doing it for my benefit. Good, Joanne, try and straighten that left leg. There you go. Yep. Every pose, there is the action that you're doing that has an effect, and then there's the attitude, or there's what's being cultivated in the pose. So what your mind is doing matters. Good, where there's a feeling of acceptance or rejection of yourself in this pose matters. And this is the Guru Chakra that looks at things that way, is how much in your life do you spend time rejecting yourself or accepting yourself? How much time do you spend celebrating yourself, and how much time do you spend denying the importance that you are? Maybe stop that part. Walk your hands back up, please. Good. Press into that back foot. Pull that left knee back in towards your chest and then step it back, downward facing dog. Both feet to the floor. Beautiful. Look forward between your hands. Step or jump your feet to the top of your mat. Nice. Standing forward fold. Bow deeply. Good. Bring the feet together, please. Big toes and heels to touch. Come up on your tippy toes. So hands can be on blocks here if you need. Straight legs. And then little frog squats. You're going to bend your knees wide out to the side, dropping your hips down towards your heels. If that doesn't work for the knees, then keep your heels flat and just come into chair. Good. And then keep on your tippy toes, straighten your legs, push your butt back up to the sky, drop your head. Good. And then bend your knees again. Back to that little frog squat, lift your chest. And then straighten your legs, take your butt to the sky. Good. And then keep going. Dropping down and lifting up. Good. Go slow so that you're mindful. Again, it's not about how many you do, it's about how you do them. Your knees will thank you to go slower. I will not make you count as many as my birthday years. You're welcome. Although Kundalini talking, it wouldn't even be that big of a deal to do, as you know, you'd be like, oh, only that many? No problem. I'm only 600 years old. Good, keep going. Good. Nice, you guys. The next time you come down into that frog squat, stay. Good. Walk your torso forward, hands forward. Let your heels start to press down towards the floor. So you're still on the balls of your feet, but you're letting the feet go at any amount that it wants to flat. Torso walks forward between your knees. Good. Butt presses back. Either stay just like that, like you're doing this little froggy child's pose, or if you want to go for the arm bind, upper arms stay in front of your shins, wrap the arms around to hold hands behind your heels. So you're wrapping the arms in front of your shins and you hold hands behind your heels. Good. Or stay exactly where you are. Nice. Widen those shoulders, Harriet. Yes, there's the rest of your spine. Good, you guys. And then release the hands if you are doing the bind. Slowly come on down to sit. Good. Let the bottoms of the feet come together. Let your knees go wide. Baddha Konasana. Good. Sit up on a whatever if you want to. Blanket was the word. Awesome. Good, you guys. And then take yourself into a little bit of a wider Baddha Konasana. So let your feet come further forward away from you. Longer diamond. Good. And then let yourself fold forward with that nice wide, long diamond. Good. And relaxing the shoulders. Good. Walk yourself back up, please. Pull your heels towards your groin a little bit more. So again, not your most extreme Baddha Konasana, but draw them in a little bit more. And then forward fold. Again, working from the tilt of your pelvis. So try and feel that the pelvis is actually rotating around the thigh bone. So as it tilts forward, you get length on your back body. Good. There's a release through the inner thighs, the inner groins. Keep pressing through the baby toes of your feet. So you keep an anchoring. Nice. And then walk yourself back up. And then pull the heels in one more time. So again, not trying to make your Baddha Konasana extreme, but draw the heels a little closer in. And same thing, forward fold. Again, paying attention to that you are tilting forward with your pelvis so that the low spine, the sacrum, has a little bit more opportunity to lengthen. And can you let yourself be just as relaxed in this position as you were in the first one, which you probably felt was a little bit easier, had a little bit more space. Good. We build capacity through our experiences, which include mistakes, failures, being told no over and over again. But inside, we have to learn to keep saying yes to ourselves. Inside, we have to know that even if we don't hear, you are auspicious, you are important, you are indescribably important on the outside, that we know inside. We have a deep respect for that. Walk yourself back up. Good. So bring the knees to face up, please. A little bit of boat pose. So move the blanket out from under you if you are using it, because it's not going to help you in boat. Will not help. Good. And then up on your tippy toes, please, holding behind the thighs. Good. And be gentle with yourself here. So again, if you're feeling a little bit like doing really strong lower back or abdominal work is not going to serve you, then just keep your hands on the floor and lift the legs. So don't do the full balance, but go for it if you're ready to. Lift the shins. Good. Have that feeling of lifting long through the spine. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. And then what I would love for you to do here is to roll forward and back on your spine. So holding this boat shape, holding the thighs, roll forward and back. Good. Careful if you have a wall behind you or furniture behind you. Good. Find your little balance point every time you roll forward. Nice. And then again, without causing strain, right? You're going to give yourself a little bit of momentum and you're going to roll, plant your feet and pull straight into chair. Yep. Good. Nice, Emily. Nice, Alice. Come on, Joanne. You had 2 days to practice. Good, Laura. Good. Almost. Do it. Good. Find your way to chair however you need to get there. Good job, you guys. Chair was the promised pose. Good. Let your hips go deeper and let your chest extend. Reach. Like chair pose is not a pose of getting heavy in your legs. It's a pose of getting light in your heart. So pull through your spine. You're pressing into your feet because there's so much power in your legs and your lower body to be able to lengthen your upper body. Nice. Come all the way up to stand. Oh, thank God. Beautiful, you guys. Hands at heart center. Take a moment. Good. And then right leg, standing leg. Bring your left knee up in towards your chest. And bring that knee wide. Bottom of the foot to the inside of the right leg for tree. Good. Feeling the press of the foot and the leg against each other, wherever the foot is resting. Beautiful. And then take the arms up to the sky. Good. So you have the sensation of drawing everything into the center line of the body. So you're really pulling in and extending up through the upper body, but pressing down through that right heel. Good. So it's a narrowing of pulling the energy in, but it's still feeling that there's so much expansiveness that is now just concentrated. Beautiful. And then spin that left knee forward, please. Squeeze it in towards the chest and then release it down to the floor. Good. Try the second side. So right leg holds you, bring the left knee up and towards your chest. Let the knee go wide, bottom of the foot to the inside of the left leg. Now, as you bring that foot to the inside of the leg, your left hip is probably going to want to spin forward. So make sure you keep drawing it back and wide. Good. Then hands can start at heart center, really get into that connection of the foot and the leg. And then below your navel, the drawing in and straight up. So again, it's like you're squeezing the outer body around that line of your spine, and then arms to the sky. And even that, there's a hug between your upper arms that will actually help to stabilize you. Squeeze the forearms. Good. Everything in and up, in and up, in and up, ribs in, low belly in. press through that left heel. Beautiful. And then spin that knee forward and release it to the floor. Plant your feet, bend your knees, drop back chair. Good. Equal weight on both feet. I know that sounds like a tall order. Awesome. Come all the way back up to stand. Good. Bring your right knee up and towards your chest. Good. Bring that knee wide again as though you were going to come into tree, but then slide that right hand inside the knee down to reach for the baby toe edge of your foot. Yep. So your arm's going to come inside the knee and your hand is reaching for the baby toe edge of your foot. You got it. There you go. You got it, Joanne. Nice. Hike that knee nice and high. Press the top of your left thigh up and back. That's your standing leg. Good. And then start to take that right leg out to the side any amount. So like a standing little frog pose. Left arm extends out from your shoulder or hand at your hip. Either one is fine. Good, Laura. Nice, Susan. Good. Emily, standing leg. Press that thigh up and back. Good. And then bring that foot all the way back down. Can you put it on your leg in tree? Of course you can. And then take your arms to the sky. Beautiful. And then spin that knee forward and place it down. Happy birthday to me. This is fun only for me. Try the second side, please. Left knee in towards the chest. Good. I don't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't be willing to do myself. Draw the knee wide, please, as though you were going to take it into tree, and then left arm comes inside the knee, reach for the baby toe edge of your foot. Lift that knee higher because now you've got support. You're like, but this isn't easier. I know it's not, but you have support. Pull the top of your right thigh up and back, chest up. Good, and start to extend that left leg out to the left any amount. It can stay bent. Good. Right hand can be at the right hip or take it wide to the right. Nice, you guys. Beautiful. And then start to bring the foot back in. Place it to the inside of your right leg. Bring it into tree. Good. Don't lose that place in you where you honor what you're doing. Don't start denying yourself. Don't start judging what did or didn't happen. Good. And then spin that knee forward. Place the foot down. Drop your hips back into chair. You're like, oh, I don't ever place my feet that way. Yeah, place your feet on purpose in your life so that whatever is asked of you next, you're ready. Hands to the floor, straighten your legs and bow. Good. Step yourself back downward facing dog, please. Good, deep breath in. Drop the knees to the floor, please, child's pose. Say in the yogic stories, they say that there's Vishnu, the energy that is the preservation of things, the preserver, the god of preservation. Is that when the world is really messed up, is he incarnates, he takes on birth so that he can bring into the world whatever is necessary for it to right itself, come back into balance. And so the joke is always we say, oh, well, when is he coming next? Right? Because the world is always a mess. We look around and we see such a freaking mess. When is he coming? How do you know it's not you? It's my answer to that question every time. How do you know it wasn't you that took that on and said, I will help bring into the world what's necessary to bring it into balance? That's the auspiciousness of your birth. So if you can't find that place in you that is Vishnu, the preserver, the one that preserves, then you're still a little narrow in how you see yourself. So you look for it, you cultivate it. Walk yourself back up, please. Well, that is my question. If you look in the mirror and you can't imagine that that Vishnu energy that is here to quote unquote save the world is you, why the heck not? And what do you think you're doing here? Good. Come to sit, please. Did I say hands and knees? I don't know why I said that. Come to hands and knees. Whatever it was, it's gone. And come to sit, take your legs out in front of you. Don't worry about it, I'm not going to. Legs straight out in front of you, please. Good. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Flex your feet so legs are straight. Good. And then pressing down through the tops of your thighs, bow forward, reaching for whatever part of the legs you can reasonably reach. So I don't care where it is, as long as you are able to touch something. So your feet, your ankles, your shins, whatever. And then cat-cow your spine. Use the connection of your arms with your legs as support. So you're pulling your chest, you're pulling your spine long and open in both directions. Auspiciousness of your birth, whatever you bring into the world, will never come again in exactly the same way. So don't be narrow. Don't restrict yourself to just the things that you do when you touch that place inside that says, this is who I am. You reach for the guru, the one that already knows how to integrate all aspects of your life, and that isn't afraid to keep loving your life exactly as it is. It's not afraid to keep loving you exactly as you are, as you appear to be. The guru is just one individual that allows love to flow from them. Come back to stillness, please. Let your spine round. So still in the forward fold, but round. Don't try anymore. Good. And slowly walk yourself all the way back up. Coming into fire log, so you're going to bend your knees to cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. So you're crossing the shins in front of you. So right ankle to left knee, if that's possible. If that's not possible, move the knees a little wider. So your your right foot will be in your left knee crease. Also an option is to sit cross-legged with your right shin in front of your left, flexing your feet. Good, so 3 options. You can use props underneath the knee if you need. Good. Nice deep breath in. Either stay right here with fingertips alongside you, just letting the hips do what they do, or forward fold. Good. Keep your feet flexed. It is kind of fun if you've never had an astrology chart done for you or an astrology reading done for you. I highly recommend it. You can find websites that will do a fairly decent job of giving you a printout of what your birth chart aspects are. But beyond all of that, what is it that you think you were born to be? Right? All those charts will show you is the specific avenues that are going to feel the most accessible to you. They're going to feel like they make the most sense. It doesn't tell you where you're going to end up. The only thing that tells you that is your own Guru chakra. Good, you guys, walk yourself back up, please. And then an option here, either come out of this position and stack the right knee on top of the left. So coming into Gomukhasana, so the feet will be wide, but you're stacking the right thigh on the right knee on top of the left, full. Or work in half lotus. So that will be stretching your left leg straight in front of you and drawing that right knee nice and wide, bringing the right foot all the way up into the left thigh crease if you're going for half lotus. Left leg is extended out in front of you. And then letting the right knee drop open any amount. Again, you can use props there if you'd like. Good. And same thing, either stay right where you are, sitting upright in half lotus, or take a forward fold. You got to relax your left quad muscle if you're doing that. Good. So those are your options. You can go for the bigger external hip opener, or you can take right knee on top of left. Good. And again, forward fold if that's available, or stay where you are. Both are very auspicious poses. Whatever you choose, don't spend any time judging your choice. Don't spend any energy denying what feels like it's right. I was saying before that one of my challenges when I was younger, it still is a challenge, that when people ask what I want, I like go blank. A lot of trouble saying what I want. Not to you guys, I tell you what I want you to do all the time. How much time do we spend judging what feels like it's right? Or not even being able to put something there at all because there's the concern that of the judgment that will come. We cultivate that awareness. Who am I? What do I want out of this life? And what am I willing to give to it? Slowly come all the way back up. Good. Unwind yourself, please, from wherever you are, stretching both legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Forward fold, just because it'll be a nice release for the hamstrings. So don't make a big deal out of it. You say you're not moving in. Good. And then walk yourself back up, please. And then starting in fire log on the other side. So bending both knees, stacking your left heel on your right knee if that's available, with the shins as close to parallel to the front of your mat as they can go. Again, the option is to pull the knee a little wider, foot into the knee crease if having the ankle on top of the knee doesn't work, or left shin in front of right, sitting cross-legged, flex your feet. Good. And then forward fold if that's available. If not, stay upright and just let your pelvis do what it needs to do. Good. Those stories of Vishnu are kind of fun because we always assume that the energy that's coming through that's going to balance the world, as we think of it in human terms. And sometimes that is how Vishnu takes his birth. But at different times, what was necessary was not for him to be born human, but for him to be born a fish or a tortoise, a dwarf. I think he was a boar at one point too, something strange like that. So everything is auspicious if it is being authentically what it is intended to be. And the extension of that authenticity is that whatever you do will carry the full presence, the full energy of who and what you are. And if you're tapped into that guru place, which is the place that's willing to love what's in front of you, no matter what, guess what that's going to do to the world? Start with yourself. And I love this life that I have. Not spend so much time denying it, running away from it, avoiding it. Come all the way back up, please. Good. And then again, same choice on this side, that you can either come into Gomukhasana, stacking the left knee on top of the right, feet wide. Good. So this will be an opposite rotation for the legs and an ease on the lower back. Or you can work towards half lotus, where the right leg will be extended straight out in front of you. Left knee is bent, bringing the foot to the very top of that right thigh crease, as high up as it will go, and then letting the knee drop wide. Good. And again, you can use props underneath that knee if you need. And forward fold if that's available in either position, or stay right where you are. Good. Keep your feet. If you're in half lotus, you can't flex the foot, but you can curl the toes, and you can keep the ankle very strong. If you're in Gomukhasana, absolutely flex your feet. Good. The energy that preserves and saves. So it finds the roots that is available to it. No concern for mistakes or failures. Walk yourself back up. Good. Unwind your legs, please, from wherever you are. Extend the legs out in front of you. Good. Give them a shake. And then again, a little forward fold so that you can just reach through the hamstrings. So pressing down through the legs. Good. Long spine. Beautiful. And then walk yourself back up. Okay. So for my birthday, go upside down. But you have many options. Again, I would love it if you have a wall and you can walk your feet up the wall or work a little bit in handstand. Be awesome. If that's not available, no problem. Headstand is great if you're comfortable doing that. You can also come into shoulder stand, absolutely. But find something, even legs up the wall. If you're like, I don't know, put your legs up a wall. Nice, Laura. Good, Harriet. Nice, Alice. Good. And I'm just assuming that those of you who have walked off camera so that you could find wall space. It's perfect, Joanne. Nice. And then I know I won't be able to hear you, but sing happy birthday. Yay. Take another breath. Slowly let yourself come on down.
We want to see your handstand.
You can see my handstand. Before we leave or before Shavasana, I'll do a handstand for you. Okay. Come on down. Find yourself. Take a moment where you either sit on your heels or bring your forehead to the floor. Good. Nice, you guys. Good, and then come on to sit up just because it's gonna be silly to do it any other way. So Carolina, will you be my wall?
Would it be your wall?
Yeah, it just means you have to not let me go too far over in handstand. All right, so just stand there. Don't worry, I'm not gonna kick you, but you're just can put a hand out so I don't kick too far, right? Sure. Good, you gotta grab my foot.
Woohoo! Happy birthday!
There you go. Happy birthday to me. Good. Find your way onto your backs, you guys. Show's over. Go home. Yeah, if I was more warmed up, I'd try and handstand walk for you. That's something I haven't done in a while. Yeah. All sorts of things that are possible when you don't tell yourself that you can't do it. On your back, please. Right ankle over left thigh. Good. Lift your left shin up parallel to the floor. Reach through to hold. Yeah. And just breathe wide into your lower back. Like, how do you get good at walking on your hands or doing whatever? This was my whole childhood, right? Gymnastics, acrobatics, dancing. That's what I did. I got really used to falling. Good. Release the thigh, please. Take your right leg all the way on top of your left. Scoot your hips over to the right. Drop your legs to the left. Spinal twist. Good. If twisting with the legs wrapped does not feel good, unwind the legs and just stack the right knee on top of the left. Arms wide, or right arm up alongside the ear. So the auspiciousness of your life is that every fall gives you the wisdom to know how to get back up. And every time you get back up, you have greater wisdom about what it means to either not fall again or to fall skillfully. So I like to say, if you're going to fall in class, do it gracefully. Because all of that is still part of the wisdom that is your life. Don't avoid it. Unwind, come all the way back to center, please. Then cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Lift your right shin parallel to the floor, reach through to hold. Good. A little more weight towards the right side of your sacrum. There you go. And bringing balance back to your world. Breathe into the whole width of your lower spine here. That expansive quality in us gets stronger every time it has to push against an obstacle, every time it has to push against a limitation. It gets more concentrated. The Guru Chakra, keep returning to it over and over again to say, maybe I don't know what comes next. But if I let that wisdom flow into this moment through the third eye, I let it flow into this moment the way I'm seeing the world. So I'll live my destiny every day. This is what I am meant to be. Slide that left leg all the way on top of the right. Scoot your hips over to the left. Drop your knees to the right. So again, if having the legs wrapped does not feel good, you can always unwind, stack the left knee on top of the right. We're told at your birth that you will be a magnificent fill in the blank. What wasn't told to you was that it was going to require you to fall down a lot, run into things a lot, spend time doing a bunch of things that maybe you thought didn't matter, shouldn't matter, doing a lot of doubting. And then one day you just accept really who and what you are. And you realize that the whole time you've been living your destiny and now you really feel it. The Buddhists say everyone is a Buddha. Is your destiny. You were born for it, born with it. The yogis say everyone is a guru. You are someone, a place where love can just flow. Unwind your legs, come back to center. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest, bring your forehead up to meet your knees and hug. And then slowly release, extending the legs out in front of you, arms alongside you, palms up. Settle for Shavasana. Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath. Letting the body begin to stretch and move, whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw the knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. Taking a moment there before you begin to push the floor away, come back to an upright seated position. Hands at the heart center, palm to palm, or whatever mudra has been serving you well. And bring the attention again back to that place of your third eye and just above. So that there's a unity there. You can see that there's 2 points, but they're connected. There's a flow between them. The music class that used to be across the hall from the studio, at the beginning of every class, they would sing a song to all the kids about how I'm so glad you're here. And it struck me as such a sweet thing that how many times in your life have you heard someone say, I'm so glad you're here, and really felt like they meant it? And how many times in your life have you said to yourself, I'm really glad I'm here, and actually meant it? So this is the guru, the place where we start to let that unfiltered love come into our own awareness of our life, so that there's no question that me, right now, am glad that you're here in this planet, in this life with me. So can you feel for yourself that there's an auspiciousness, that you are in the world exactly when you are needed? And that guru's self is going to bring forward, if you let it, everything that you have to give to the world. So don't be narrow. You are indescribably important. We'll close with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week until I see you again. Yeah, I don't know. You can unmute yourself if you have something to say to me, but I got to scoot off very soon to let Jeannie on. So
happy birthday again.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Have a
See you
great
guys soon.
birthday week.
Thank you.
Keep
I'm
celebrating.
thinking I'm going to claim the month. It's my birthday month.
Okay. Yeah, that's what my husband does.
So that's fine.
And we're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Celebrate you. Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.